Greetings, 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 greetings. My brothers and sisters, man, I had to come on Zoom because StreamYard, for some reason, is messing up because I'm going hard. It's okay, the algorithms, but I'll get back to StreamYard later. I had to get on Zoom, so pay attention to this real quick. All right. So, as you can see, Nicole Collier, she's being detained, or she has been detained, so to speak, or been kept in a room for whatever reason, right? But what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go to this screen right here. Okay, give me 1 second. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, and then I'm gonna go back to another screen and pull that up for you. Give me 1 second. Let me pull that up. Pull that up because it's a little bit different on what's that? On Zoom. But I'm getting used to it. They kind of put a hiccup in what I'm doing, but it stopped me. So here we go, right? So Nicole Collier, she's a Democratic, representative. Okay, she actually deals on the legislative branch. So that is pretty much that is the branch that creates the bills, creates the laws. Remember, I told y'all there are three branches of government: the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. The legislative is the branch that makes the laws, so to speak, right? The executive is the one that execute the laws, and the judicial is the one that keeps everybody in balance. It interprets the law, so to speak, to make sure there's checks and balances, right? But the move Trump made, right, and he got the power from the judicial, put his people in place, and he has more power than the legislative. So anybody who's making the laws, he has more power than them. Basically, in layman terms, Trump is above the law. Remember what I told y'all before? Trump is playing the Lord God. Isaiah 45:7. I create good, I create evil, I create good, the light and the dark. So you have the tree of life and the tree of good and the tree of evil. Literally, okay? That's what's happening. So I keep telling people, I've always told you this has nothing to do with immigration or illegal aliens. That was just the stepping stone, the precedence to for the civil war. Okay, the civil war that took place in the 60s had nothing to do with us. Okay, all the signs that you're seeing in the movies, all right, in Tulsa and Selma, all those places with the signs, colored only, whites only, you can't drink in that fountain. It was all a stage. Now, am I saying that it didn't happen? I'm not saying that. But they were all actors. It was put in place to make sure that we put into law in the legal system the status of black and white. So they use the people's energy to create an illusion on paper. It has nothing to do with the color of skin. It was all a play. It was all an act that was put in place to, just like the movie Roots. Now, I know for a lot of you, you are not going to get it because, oh, well, man, my ancestors went through it. We couldn't sit on the boss. We couldn't drink. Yes, I'm not saying no, but it was a play that was put in place by the producers, the writers, and the directors, and everybody was playing actors. They were actors. Even the extras in the movies didn't even know they was in the movie. A lot of our people were extras. They were actors. They were extras. So they were not the main players who knew exactly what the movie was about. They were just extras in the background thinking it's about them. Now, like I said, that's going to go over some heads. But that whole civil rights movement, it was an act, it was a play. All right? So, Democrat, Republican, same bird. That's not what it's about. I'm not asking you to pick one side, whether it's left wing, right wing. Nah, that does not apply to us. What I'm showing you is what's going on. You feel me? What's going on? She's not an immigrant, so to speak, but she's being held because they are they're doing what's called a redistribution of the districts. All right, redistricting. In other words, what was there, we're going to change it, and I promise you, it's in the favor of Trump. All right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to go into the etymology of the word war. Let me get back here to Zoom. I can share my screen once more. Give me 1 second. How do we do this here? This, oh man, this is a little bit, whoa. Okay, wow. Okay, how am I going to do it? Oh, I got to stop sharing here. Stop sharing. Good. And I'm going to share again and go back to the etymology. It's okay. Bear with me, right? Bear with me because, StreamYard is messing up on me right now. So let us go into the etymology of war. It's a contest, my people. You feel me? People have to look at the etymology of words. It's a contest between nations. It's all a play. Everything that's happening around the world is a contest. Unfortunately, all right, people are losing lives because these people are playing a game. It's like a chessboard, okay? Checkers, spades. It's a game. So it's a contest between nations, people, parties, what you see happening between FBAs and Africans. It's war. It's a contest to create confusion. And I'm going to prove it to you. Now you have the so-called Black Scots and Irish and Germans and Russian, Italians stepping up. It's a contest. And the people, the directors, the writers, and the producers, they are the ones creating the script and giving it to the actors. You have main actors and you have extras. The extras are not getting paid the way that the main actors are getting paid. You did. So let us go all the way down. It's about conflict, all right? But however, let's go all the way down to the bottom. What does it say? To bring into confusion. So everything, the civil rights, the movie Roots, the gingers that's claiming to be black, the so-called Black Scots, all these so-called black people, the FBAs, all of them, they are all actors. And you have the main ones that put it in place, and you have the ones that think they know what they're talking about. They're just extras. Their opinions don't count. But they're the ones with the biggest voice because they want to be Denzel. They want to be Will Smith. They want to be Tom Cruise. But they're just extras. They're not even invited to the awards. But they're the ones making the biggest noise on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. A bunch of idiots. Yes, I said it. Fighting to be a color in a crayon box. All right? So because of your ignorance, this is what's happening. All right? Because of your ignorance, this is what's happening. Suffer. All right? You are suffering because of your ignorance. Suffer means to allow, to occur, or continue, to refrain from hindering, fail to prevent or suppress. Also to be made to undergo, endure, be subjected to what? Pain, death, punishment, grief, injury, and humiliation. That's what is happening right now. Because you chose that. This ain't got nothing to do with the color of your skin. Y'all want to make pale-skinned people and Caucasians your enemies. And the people who created the whole play, they sitting back laughing. Look at these fools. You dig? My people, we are the only ones that create balance back on our land as the original people. American Indians. Some will scream Aborigines. That's cool. Aboriginals, that's cool, but it's not in law. Some will scream indigenous. That's cool, but it's not legally binding because the UNDRIP and ADRIP, American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, and United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, it's not legally binding. It's not legally binding. What's lawfully binding is American Indian. It's not Israelite, it's not Hebrew, it's not Tartarian, it's not Atlantis, none of those things. Get out of her, my people. I told y'all about the Civil War. I told y'all about the Purge. I told you about the Jubilee in 2017. I've been on point every single time. And what you don't realize, I'm telling you, what you think it is not what it is. It's the Purge. They don't care about illegal aliens. No, the goal is to uproot the original people. So if they could take away the people they call so-called illegal, that will potentially join the fight, they're going to weaken the original indigenous people's army, so to speak. Because remember what war means: conflict, military power. But in other words, bottom line, to create confusion. That's what it was meant for in the original sense. That's what's happening. All right, that's what's happening. Like I said, I'm gonna do a few series of videos. So let me end the recording right now in this, and I'm gonna end the call. See you on the next one. Wake up, my people. Like I told y'all before, I'm the Black Identity Slayer. I'm coming for that giant, and I'm gonna slay that giant. And anybody who's in the way, they're gonna get it, because I'm gonna ask my ancestors to get them. Period.